In the relentless pursuit of viral fame, 6 content creators pushed beyond safety's edge and paid the ultimate price. These are the stories of influencers who died chasing the perfect shot, where a single moment of miscalculation turned their cameras into witnesses of their own tragic ends. It was June 15, 2015, when 24-year-old Tobias Fox made a decision that would cost him his life. The freelance photographer had built a modest following of 3,700 people and had been posting weekly urban exploration videos. Known for his calm demeanor and calculated risk-taking, Tobias had always pushed boundaries to capture the perfect shot. That afternoon, he arrived at an abandoned water tower on the outskirts of a small town in central Indiana with 2 companions. His first friend, a 23-year-old part-time media worker, had brought professional lighting equipment. The second, a 25-year-old delivery worker known for his cautious personality, expressed concerns about the rusted structure but agreed to help film. The trio had scouted the location for a weekend challenge video. Tobias planned to climb the 80-foot tower while wearing a chest-mounted action camera, with his friends recording from ground level using their phones. The tower showed obvious signs of decay. Rust flakes littered the base, faded warning signs hung askew, and the perimeter fence had a loose panel they easily pushed aside. Despite the visible corrosion on the ladder rungs, Tobias felt confident that the first 40 feet looked structurally sound during his brief visual inspection. He attached an extra battery pack to his harness and began his ascent, narrating local landmarks as he climbed higher. At approximately 30 feet up, disaster struck. A ladder rung that had appeared stable suddenly flexed under his weight. As Tobias shifted his grip to a side rail, the flaking paint provided no purchase. The rung sheared completely at its weld point, producing a sharp metallic snap that his friends' cameras captured clearly. Tobias fell backward, his body striking a diagonal support brace with devastating force. The impact to his hip and ribs caused him to rotate before hitting a secondary strut with his shoulder and head. He then plummeted the remaining distance to the concrete pad below. His friends rushed to help, finding Tobias with an open leg fracture, a deformed left arm, and a severe head wound. His breathing became increasingly labored as they called emergency services and applied pressure to stop the bleeding. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but found no pulse, and their initial assessment showed signs consistent with severe head trauma. Despite resuscitation attempts, Tobias was pronounced dead at the scene from blunt force trauma and internal hemorrhaging. The investigation revealed the full sequence through recovered footage from 3 different angles. The chest-mounted camera had survived the fall, providing crucial evidence of the structural failure. Both friends gave consistent statements to police, and a nearby resident confirmed seeing the group enter through the damaged fence. The medical examiner's autopsy cited severe head trauma, multiple fractures, and internal bleeding as the cause of death, ruling it accidental. The water tower's owner was ordered to secure the perimeter with anti-climb panels and updated warning signs. Local authorities used the incident to issue public safety advisories about the dangers of exploring abandoned structures. The case was officially closed after the coroner's report confirmed no foul play was involved. Tobias Fox's death served as a stark reminder that even experienced urban explorers face deadly consequences when aging infrastructure fails. His final video, recovered from the scene, became evidence in a tragedy that could have been prevented with proper safety equipment and structural assessment. It was September 22, 2016, when 27-year-old Sutton Page decided to capture what she believed would be her most spectacular highway stunt content yet. The part-time cafe worker had cultivated 4,100 followers through her engaging travel vlogs, combining her outgoing personality with methodical planning. Sutton had arranged to meet her collaborator, a 28-year-old freelance videographer, at a remote stretch of Highway 299 in Northern California, known for its scenic mountain backdrop. Their plan involved filming Sutton performing skateboard tricks while riding alongside moving traffic during the golden hour of dawn. The location presented immediate challenges that morning. Early morning fog had reduced visibility along the winding mountain road, while loose gravel on the shoulder created unstable footing for skateboard maneuvers. A few early commuters had already begun using the route, creating intermittent traffic flow. Sutton set up her equipment with characteristic precision. Her tripod stood on the roadside embankment while she initiated a live stream. Her collaborator staged himself in a follow vehicle with a handheld gimbal. Both content creators noted the reduced visibility, but decided to proceed. The fatal moment came as Sutton attempted to skateboard alongside a passing sedan while performing tricks. She had been narrating the mountain scenery while maintaining pace with the vehicle. The camera framed perfectly to include the dramatic valley vista beyond the guardrail. As she planted her right foot to execute a kickflip maneuver, the morning conditions proved treacherous. Her skateboard wheel encountered a patch of loose gravel that investigators later found had accumulated from recent road maintenance. Her board lost all traction just as she committed her weight to the trick. Sutton's balance shifted beyond recovery in an instant. She contacted the asphalt with her left hip and forearm, the impact causing her to tumble directly into the path of an oncoming pickup truck. The driver, unable to react in time due to the fog and Sutton's sudden appearance, struck her with devastating force. Police collision reports later documented visibility at less than 150 feet during the moment of impact, consistent with early morning mountain fog. Early commuters witnessed the collision and immediately called emergency services. Her collaborator, following in the chase vehicle, stopped immediately and attempted to direct traffic around the scene. Emergency medical teams arrived within minutes. Via the mountain highway, responders found Sutton with multiple traumatic injuries, consistent with high-speed vehicular impact, including severe head trauma, chest injuries, and multiple fractures. Despite the rapid emergency response, Sutton was pronounced dead at the scene. The fatal injuries were consistent with blunt force trauma from vehicular impact at highway speeds. The investigation preserved crucial evidence from multiple sources. The live stream had automatically archived through the platform, capturing the entire sequence. Her collaborator and several motorists provided consistent statements about the skateboard malfunction and subsequent collision. The medical examiner determined that multiple blunt force trauma from vehicular impact caused Sutton's death, officially ruling the manner accidental. The truck driver was not charged, as investigators determined he had no reasonable opportunity to avoid the collision given the visibility conditions. Sutton Page's death highlighted how quickly equipment failure and environmental factors can transform routine stunt content creation into a fatal accident, even for experienced creators who typically exercise good judgment. It was March 18, 2017, when 22-year-old Alden Hayes embarked on what would become his final exploration. The reserve delivery driver had gained a modest online audience who followed his wildlife explorations. Unlike flashier content creators, Alden's methodical approach had earned him a loyal audience, but recent viewer feedback urging him to get closer to wildlife had pushed him to attempt riskier shots than he normally pursued. That afternoon, Alden drove alone to investigate reports of unusual wildlife activity in a dense forest preserve in eastern Kentucky. Local hunters claimed they had spotted an unusually aggressive black bear in the area. For weeks, Alden had been planning this solo expedition, knowing that riskier wildlife encounters consistently outperformed his regular uploads. The forest showed obvious signs of recent bear activity. Park rangers had posted warning signs about increased wildlife encounters, while fresh claw marks on trees and disturbed vegetation created clear evidence of large animal presence. Despite these warnings, Alden felt confident in his ability to maintain safe distances. Trail camera footage confirmed Alden had arrived alone, parking at a remote trailhead before hiking into the preserve. He carried his camera equipment in a backpack, along with a compact action camera mounted to a chest harness. The fatal sequence began as Alden positioned his tripod closer to fresh bear sign than he normally would, hoping the tighter framing would deliver the dramatic footage his audience had been requesting. Footage recovered from both cameras showed him adjusting his angles repeatedly, trying to get a compelling shot despite the clear signs of recent bear activity. The forest remained quiet initially, giving him false confidence. Approximately 20 minutes into filming, Alden encountered a large adult black bear foraging near a fallen log. The animal had been concealed by dense undergrowth, creating an unexpected close-range encounter. When Alden stepped on a dry branch, the sharp crack startled the bear. The confrontation happened faster than Alden could react. The bear, likely a protective female with cubs nearby, charged directly toward him. Unable to retreat quickly enough through the dense forest, Alden was knocked to the ground by the animal's initial contact. The impact sent him tumbling down a steep embankment into a rocky creek bed below. The chest-mounted camera captured the bear encounter and subsequent fall before the device was damaged on impact. Based on device timestamps and body condition when discovered, investigators determined Alden had died from the combination of bear attack injuries and trauma from the fall. A park ranger conducting routine patrols discovered the body the following morning. Emergency responders secured the scene and retrieved Alden's damaged camera equipment. Despite the impact damage, portions of the memory card data were recoverable, providing crucial evidence. The medical examiner's autopsy revealed the cause of death as multiple traumatic injuries from animal attack, combined with blunt force trauma from the fall. The manner of death was officially ruled accidental. Investigators interviewed park rangers who confirmed recent bear activity and verified that warning notices had been posted before the incident. The forest preserve was temporarily closed, while authorities issued updated wildlife safety advisories. Alden Hayes' death underscored how quickly conditions can shift during wildlife filming, even for creators who typically plan their shoots carefully. It was July 14th, 2017, when 25-year-old Marigold Shaw embarked on what would become her final desert photography expedition. The energetic retail worker had developed a following of 4,600 subscribers through her weekly landscape photography series, showcasing remote natural locations from challenging perspectives. Marigold had coordinated with her friend, a 26-year-old outdoor enthusiast who possessed desert hiking experience but lacked formal wilderness training. Both individuals had underestimated the severity of desert conditions during peak summer months. The accomplice had agreed to help capture sunrise portraits from a remote canyon location in the Mojave Desert. The morning setup appeared routine. Marigold positioned her tripod and reflector panels in an exposed canyon wash, while her friend operated a secondary camera. She had chosen dark clothing for artistic contrast. Despite the forecasted temperature of 115 degrees Fahrenheit, the desert location presented hidden hazards. The canyon walls created a natural oven effect, trapping heat and eliminating wind circulation. Exposed rock surfaces radiated intense heat, while the lack of shade offered no relief from direct sunlight. As the morning progressed, Marigold grew ambitious with her shot locations. Seeking to maximize the dramatic canyon background, she climbed to increasingly exposed positions on the rock formations. Both gradually consumed their limited water supplies. The fatal sequence began subtly. Marigold pushed deeper into the canyon for more dramatic sunrise angles she hoped would elevate her next upload, ignoring early signs of heat exhaustion, such as excessive sweating, fatigue, and mild confusion. However, both individuals attributed these symptoms to normal exertion and continued the photography session. As temperatures soared past 110 degrees, Marigold's condition deteriorated rapidly. Medical reviewers later noted that her symptoms matched the documented progression of exertional heat stroke, where cognitive decline, loss of sweating, and collapse can occur within minutes once the body can no longer regulate temperature. She became disoriented and began making poor decisions about positioning and safety. Her speech became slurred, and she complained of severe headaches and nausea. Her skin had shifted from sweating to dry and hot, an indicator that her body could no longer regulate temperature. Her friend recognized the severity of the situation and attempted to guide Marigold back to their vehicle. However, the combination of extreme heat, dehydration, and physical exertion had already triggered severe heat stroke. Marigold collapsed approximately half a mile from their parking location. Her friend immediately called emergency services while attempting to provide shade and cooling measures. However, the remote desert location created significant delays in emergency response. Emergency personnel arrived via helicopter within 45 minutes, but Marigold's core body temperature had reached fatal levels. Dispatch logs later confirmed that the helicopter launched within 9 minutes of the 911 call, but terrain and heat turbulence extended flight time. The extreme heat had caused multiple organ failure and cardiovascular collapse that rendered resuscitation attempts unsuccessful. The investigation proceeded methodically. Authorities interviewed Marigold's friend, reviewing weather data that confirmed temperatures had exceeded 115 degrees during their expedition. Park rangers provided testimony about the location's extreme conditions. Digital evidence proved crucial. Camera memory cards captured the progression of Marigold's deteriorating condition, with timestamps correlating to temperature readings. The lack of adequate water supplies and inappropriate clothing were documented as contributing factors. The medical examiner determined that hyperthermia and multiple organ failure caused Marigold's death, officially ruling the manner accidental. Park authorities immediately implemented enhanced warning systems for desert access permits. It was May 26, 2018, when 29-year-old Reed Jensen ventured into the wilderness for what would become his final adventure stream. The quiet, freelance writer had cultivated 3,900 followers who appreciated his thoughtful approach to nature content. Reed's measured personality had earned him a loyal audience. Reed organized the trip with 3 companions: a local outdoor instructor who knew the cave system in northern Alabama, and 2 experienced cavers, a teacher and a mechanic. After a 2-hour hike through dense forest, they reached the limestone entrance and immediately noticed fresh rockfall and weak air movement. The group prepared their gear with practiced efficiency. Reed mounted an action camera, his friends handled backup lights, and portable gas detectors were set to monitor the deeper passages. The fatal sequence began as the group descended into the cave's main chamber. The guide noted unusual air patterns and recommended staying in well-ventilated areas. But Reed pressed deeper into the system than the guide recommended, hoping the darker, tighter passages would give him the kind of high-engagement footage his audience had been requesting. As Reed moved deeper into the cave, the stagnant lower chamber contained a buildup of CO2 from natural biological processes. Cave specialists note these pockets form when heavy CO2 settles into low areas and displaces oxygen, creating dangerous, undetectable conditions. The air offered no sensory warning. Reed first experienced mild headache and fatigue, which he mistook for exertion. In oxygen-poor environments, symptoms can escalate fast. Confusion, instability, and sudden collapse often occur with little time to react. As he continued filming, his cognitive function deteriorated, and he became visibly disoriented before his companions realized the severity of the exposure. Reed's speech became slurred, and he appeared confused about his location within the cave system. His friends and guide quickly recognized the signs of gas poisoning and attempted to evacuate him to fresh air immediately. The remote cave location created critical delays in emergency response. While the guide administered basic first aid, Reed's condition deteriorated rapidly. His breathing became increasingly labored as the oxygen-poor atmosphere overwhelmed his ability to ventilate normally. Emergency responders faced significant challenges reaching the isolated cave system. Specialized cave rescue teams were required to safely extract Reed from the underground environment. By the time medical personnel established treatment, Reed had succumbed to oxygen deprivation caused by extreme CO2 accumulation in the confined chamber. The investigation documented all aspects of the incident. Responders tested air quality throughout the cave system, identifying the source of the gas leak and mapping contaminated areas. Digital evidence from the chest camera and handheld devices provided comprehensive documentation. The guide and both friends gave detailed statements to investigators. The medical examiner officially ruled Reed's death accidental, citing asphyxia due to elevated carbon dioxide levels and oxygen depletion as the cause. Authorities permanently closed the affected cave sections and installed gas monitoring systems. Reed Jensen's death ultimately traced back to his decision to push deeper for higher engagement footage, placing him in an oxygen-poor chamber that offered no warning of the danger ahead. It was November 3rd, 2018, when 23-year-old Una Bell prepared for what would become her final urban exploration video. The creative part-time student had built a following of 4,800 subscribers who admired her disciplined approach to abandoned building photography. Una's technical precision had earned genuine respect within the urban exploration community. Una met 2 friends that night at an abandoned textile mill on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio, a site known for its unstable floors and outdated electrical systems. Instead of jumping straight into setup, the 3 spent time walking the ground level, checking for hazards and identifying workable routes through the structure before deciding where to begin their shoot. Her friends positioned their equipment strategically throughout the main floor. Both had experience documenting urban exploration sessions and understood her methodical preparation process. The photography session began successfully, with Una capturing initial shots with characteristic attention to detail. Her compositions demonstrated the artistic vision that had built her reputation. The critical moment arrived as Una attempted to photograph a dramatic stairwell using high-powered LED panels. The location required positioning lights near what appeared to be inactive electrical fixtures. However, the building's electrical system concealed a deadly hazard. Despite appearing abandoned, portions of the facility remained connected to live power lines. Investigators later discovered that utility disconnection had been incomplete, leaving several circuits energized. Electrical inspectors noted that partial disconnections are uncommon but can occur when older industrial buildings undergo staggered shutdowns or when certain lines remain active for adjacent properties sharing the same grid. As Una adjusted her lighting equipment near a junction box, disaster struck without warning. Her metal light stand contacted an exposed energized conductor that had been concealed behind loose paneling, creating a direct electrical path through her body to ground. The 240-volt industrial circuit delivered a lethal current the instant the stand made contact. The electrocution occurred immediately. Investigators later documented arc marks on the junction box and entry and exit burns consistent with high-voltage contact. Una's muscles contracted involuntarily, preventing her from releasing the equipment as electrical current continued to pass through her. The sustained contact caused severe burns, cardiac arrest, and catastrophic internal injury. Her friends witnessed the electrical flash and immediately attempted to disconnect the power source. However, they were unable to locate the main electrical shutoff quickly enough to prevent fatal injury. Emergency medical teams arrived rapidly. Despite their quick response, Una's injuries exceeded the limits of medical intervention. The electrical trauma had caused severe burns, cardiac arrest, and neurological damage. The investigation proceeded with thorough documentation. Police interviewed both friends extensively, while electrical inspectors analyzed the building's power systems. The investigation revealed multiple code violations. Municipal authorities immediately mandated comprehensive electrical safety inspections for all abandoned properties. Code enforcement officials ordered building owners to ensure complete power disconnection. The medical examiner cited electrical trauma with cardiac arrest as the cause of death, ruling the manner accidental. The utility company faced citations for incomplete service disconnection procedures. Una Bell's fatal accident underscored the hidden dangers lurking within seemingly powerless, abandoned structures, where incomplete electrical disconnections can create deadly traps for even experienced urban exploration enthusiasts. Thanks for watching. Want to see more? Click on your screen now.